Hello everybody, SlimKirby here. Welcome back to more Let's Play Super Bomberman 2. Last time I was having trouble finishing this level. Well, not so much trouble, but I had to kill this stupid enemy to advance, but the enemy wasn't being very kind to me, so I couldn't finish it when I wanted to, but no big deal. We'll go ahead and finish it now. I'm going to go ahead and blow up some of these blocks just because, well, I can probably find some items like this pair of skates, which I could use. And then I just have to destroy this switch. And that will open the door, going to level 17. Now, in every world, for both level 7 and level 8, you'll actually have a boss fight. For the level 7 levels, you have to fight the leader of that world, so we have to fight against Magnet Bomber here. In these battles, all you have to do is blow up the opponent 3 times. I already got him once there, so I'm... Oh, damn it, I died. Oh well, no big deal. I guess I should also mention that, whenever you die, you do lose all the power-ups you have at that point, except your bomb and your fire power-ups. So, I lost my speed, I lost the, ability to throw bombs. Basically, you lose everything except those 2 things in the top right of the screen. And then your points, of course, too. Anyways, something else I want to mention about this bomber guy is that whenever he lays a bomb and you come in range of that bomb, the bomb will actually attract towards you, kind of like a magnet, hence why he's called Magnet Bomber. And that's kind of a cool ability, I guess. And okay, he's already defeated. Not bad. Also, one thing you also want to take into consideration about these levels is, in every one of these levels, you'll find a heart power-up hidden in one of the blocks. Make sure you grab that, because whenever you get the heart power-up, you gain the ability to take an extra hit, so that's always nice to have. Anyways, level 8 of every world is the main boss fight, where the bomber of that world gets into his or her machine. This is the punching robot, I guess you could say. He's not very hard to defeat, though, because he's pretty slow and he only has 1 attack. And all he does is whenever you're in range of him, he'll stop and then try to punch you with one of his fists. The time that he gives you whenever he stops is enough to get away from him, though, so you shouldn't have to worry about getting attacked at all during this fight. He's really, really not a hard boss whatsoever. And then you can just, lay bombs throughout the entire level and then just try to blow him up. Very, very easy boss fight. The only thing, though, it does take a while to defeat him because he does have a lot of health, but for the most part, though, you just have to wait it out and defeat him. Not really hard at all. Most future boss fights, well, the boss moves a lot faster, and then sometimes, like in the case of the next boss battle for World 2, the boss can actually damage himself, which also kind of speeds up the process, but I'll get into that later. Anyways, when the machine starts turning gray and when it starts to smoke, that is basically the indicator that the boss is almost defeated, if you couldn't figure that out on your own. I'm getting a little bit of lag, though. I'm not sure why. It is kind of like a lot slower than it should be. But again, that's not really my fault. It's probably more the fault of the emulator I'm using, not really anything on my behalf, but it should be okay when I actually post the video. If not, I'll try to find another way to improve the quality a little bit. But there we go, the punching robot is defeated. Also, I should also mention that whenever the boss is being blown up, and then also during this part right here, you are vulnerable to the bombs that you lay, so you can't actually die at this point. So don't worry about that. I guess that's not really a big thing, but still. Anyways, Magnet Zone is destroyed, and now we have to move on to the second world. Now, I'm actually going to check in between videos, so don't worry about leaving comments to correct me. But I'm not really sure of the name of this bomber. I think he's called either Fire Bomber or Golem Bomber. I don't know off the top of my head, but it's one of those two names. I mean, either name makes sense because his specialty is firepower, and then also he looks like a golem, so I guess either name would work. Anyways, welcome to the Fire Zone. There are a few new obstacles here. First, that little red switch that is now a yellow switch, whenever you blow that up, it'll turn one of these blocks on the field into a solid block, and whenever you blow the solid blocks up, they will move over the holes, allowing you to actually access what's beyond there. So you couldn't actually get that switch until you destroy that thing. And then the same thing for down there, although you could go around and get that one. Another new mechanic that you can find in this level is that giant furnace that you see in the bottom right corner, and well, I guess before I'll talk about that, I also got a new power-up. These are the spike bombs. Whenever you lay one, the bombs will actually go through all of the bombable walls, or in this case, the bombable candles in this level. And they're very useful. Just be very careful when you're laying those bombs, because you could forget that you're actually in range of them, and then hurt yourself, which is a problem I tend to have whenever I'm using these kind of bombs. Anyways, down here, like I mentioned, this is a furnace. Whenever you lay a bomb in front of the furnace, it'll get sucked into the furnace, and then it'll start smoking, and that giant black line that goes around that little area, every few seconds, that line will actually light, and then if you're on that line when it happens, you'll explode and die, so be careful around those furnaces. I think there is one level in this world where you actually have to activate the furnace, so just watch out for those things. They're not that tricky to deal with, but still, it's really more of a being careful thing. And here we actually have another new power-up. These are the remote-controlled bombs. Like in the first game, whenever you lay one of these bombs and then get out of the way and then press a certain button, and you can actually explode the bombs whenever you want them to explode. They can be very helpful, but in this world, the spike bombs are probably a little more helpful, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But if you couldn't tell, the bombable walls in this world, the candles, or whatever you want to call them, they're kind of annoying because they'll actually light back up after a few seconds, so they can really get in your way at times, so just be careful about that. And look, we can actually get the spike bombs again if I want them. I think I'm gonna not worry about it, because I actually like using remote-controlled bombs a little more than these spike bombs. That's just my own preference. Okay, so we're gonna blow up this switch, and then move over here. I'm trying to be careful. Well, not really so much careful. I'm making sure I got everything, because the door isn't open, so I guess I must have switched all the way over here. And sure enough, yes, there was a switch at the very beginning of the level that I forgot about, so I'll get that right now. And I think I should have time for one more level. Just one more, though. Yeah, I gotta admit, though, these levels are going on a lot longer than I thought they would. And, like, I'm not even farming for power-ups either. I'm actually legitly going through these levels, like, in a pretty quick fashion. It's just that there's a lot more you have to take into consideration, like making sure you carefully activate all the switches, and then you make sure you properly take care of all the enemies on the level. Just a lot more you have to realize in this game than in the first game. In the first game, it was like, okay, I'll just, defeat enemies and then find the exit and then I'm done. In this game, it's more strategic, I guess you could say. Okay, those enemies right there, they are... I don't really know what to call them. I don't know their actual name. But they move around the battlefield, and sometimes they'll randomly stop and try to shoot fire at you. When they try to shoot fire at you, they're temporarily invulnerable during that time, so you can't destroy them. You have to actually wait until they finish blowing fire at you before you can actually kill them. And there we go. Enemy defeated. And that about does it for level 2-3. And that's also going to do it for this video because I am out of time. Well, let me make sure, though. Okay, yeah, this level is pretty short, but I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. So, this is SlimKirby. See you guys next time for more Let's Play Super Bomberman 2. Later, folks.